Well, all right, we've already picked the 49er game for the week. Go ahead and check out the end of the Upon for the Review video for that. Now, I, Diego Liss, am going to run through the balance of the picks for this week. And we're going to start with Miami headed to New England. So the Dolphins are going to Foxborough. New England's favored by 8 points. I'm going to offer up something very interesting here. The Miami Dolphins, in the time since their coaching change, have scored an average of 40 points a game. That's something to think about. Arch an eyebrow, maybe. They haven't been playing world beaters putting all those points up, but I'll tell you what, they're actually playing football. On the road in Foxborough, if this was January, maybe not. I think Miami is going to go into New England, and they may not win the game, but I don't think they're going to lose by 8 points. So in this one, give me Miami in the points. Next up, we've got the Detroit Lions headed to face the Kansas City Chiefs in London. So not only do the Lions suck at home, they suck abroad as well. The Chiefs are showing me that they can at least try to win football games without Jamal Charles. They're not going to be hyper dynamic, but let's face it, the Detroit Lions haven't given anybody a whole lot to smile about. Calvin Johnson's underperforming. Matthew Stafford is a shadow of his former self. And in this instance, I think that the Chiefs have the superior defense. And I think the superior defense is going to carry the day. So I'm going to take Kansas City, 5-point favorites, over the Detroit Lions. Next up, we've got the Minnesota Vikings headed to Chicago. This is going to be my toilet bowl pick for the week. The Vikings are favored on the road by 1 point. Now, there are a few things that you can bank on. It gets dark at night, the check is in the mail, and the Minnesota Vikings suck the sweat off dead men's balls. If you're only favored to beat the Chicago Bears by 1 point, you're probably not a very good football team, and I'm not sure that Minnesota wins this one straight up. Give me the Bears. I think that at home, they're going to have enough juice to get this one done. So I'm taking Chicago in the upset. All right, next up, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers headed to the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta's favored by a touchdown. In this instance, as much as I want to believe in what Tampa Bay was able to get done in Washington last week, I can't. I just can't. Washington's not a very good football team. Atlanta is a very good football team. They're a very well-coached football team. I think that in this game, you're going to see Matt Ryan go absolutely nuts, and you're going to see Julio Jones and Hank Time, provided that he's healthy, make a whole lot of noise through the air. Give me the Atlanta Falcons, and I'll take them even at a touchdown. All right, next up, we've got the New York Giants headed to the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are favored by 3, and they should be, because the Giants are awful. And that really hurts because they spanked the 49ers. So, let's talk a little bit about this New Orleans team. Drew Brees is playing really great football right now. And they've got a platoon of running backs down there, Kyrie Robinson, Mark Ingram, who are really, really getting it done. Through the air, Brees is throwing to a bunch of guys who would have been considered also-rans in seasons past. Right now, they're getting it done. They're doing it with a depleted roster. They're playing some pretty good football. I think they're playing good enough football to take advantage of a Giants team that just can't find its feet. So, give me New Orleans, and I'll take them as 3-point favorites in the game. All right, we have got, next up, Arizona headed to Cleveland. And you've got the Redbirds favored by 5 points. That's a tough one because you're looking at a 10 a.m. start. But I also think you're looking at a very, very good Arizona football team. I don't buy into Carson Palmer being, an elite top 10 QB. I don't buy into that receiving core being this hyper-dynamic juggernaut or anything like that. Here's what I do buy into. That defense is righteous, and Cleveland is not. I think that the Cardinals are going to win this one. I think they're going to win it by a touchdown. Give me the Cards and the points. All right, next up, we have got Cincinnati headed to Pittsburgh. This is the return of Big Ben, and this has no line. This is a tricky game, but it's a game that I think Cincinnati is poised to win. Big Ben is coming back off of an injury, and historically speaking, when Big Ben is coming back off an injury, his first game back is usually a pretty rocky ride. Now, he's never had the kind of stars that he has here. I'm talking about Martavis Bryant. I'm talking about Antonio Brown. I'm talking about Le'Veon Bell. Those guys can get it done, even when Big Ben is not on the field. Cincinnati's loaded, kids. Loaded. Loaded enough that I think they may be squaring off against the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. This is a really, really good team. So, in my estimation, I think Cincinnati takes this one, and I think they run away with it. I think they go into Pittsburgh and make a whole lot of noise. So, give me the Bengals. Next up, we have got the San Diego Chargers and the number one defense in the NFL going to the Baltimore Ravens, who lost a heartbreaker because Joe Flacco is not elite. So, the Chargers are an enigma. They can move the ball almost at will, and their defense gives up yards like freaking Halloween candy. So, I'm not really sure what to do with this team, but I do think that they've got enough juice to beat really a reeling Ravens team. The Ravens are 1-6. I don't see them coming out of this 2-6. I think they're going to come out of it 1-7. They're a talented team and they're very well coached. I just think that they've lost too many players at too many key positions to make noise against an offense as dynamic as the one San Diego brings to the table. Give me the Chargers. Next up, we have got the Tennessee Titans going to the Houston Texans. Who released Ryan Mallett because I guess he had better things to do than actually accompany his football team to their game. So we've got Yates is coming back as the backup. Not really sure what that's going to mean for the Texans, other than the fact, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, until J.J. Watt becomes the owner, general manager, head coach, quarterback, starting tailback, and can find a way to replicate himself 10 times to be all 11 players on defense, I'm just not sure how Houston's going to get it done. They just don't have the guns, especially now that they've lost Arian Foster for the year. This isn't a team that I see winning a whole lot of games going forward. I know they're favored here against Tennessee. I think Tennessee goes in there and pulls off the upset. I really do. I think, if Mariota's playing this game, I think he's got a shot to get out there and make some noise. Okay, next up, we've got the Jets headed to Oakland. Jets are favored by 2. Oakland Raiders coming off a big win against San Diego, but against a really, really, really bad San Diego defense. The Jets defense is not really bad. The Jets defense might be one of the best in football. I think the Jets are going to come into Oakland. I think they're going to punch the Raiders right in the face. That defense is nasty. And I think that the Raiders are going to find out exactly how nasty. I'm going to take the Jets and the points. All right, next up, we have got Seattle headed to Dallas. The Seahawks are favored by 6. And I think that that's fair, considering the fact that Matt Castle is starting at quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't see a way that the Cowboys are going to win a game with Matt Castle being the centerpiece of their offense. I don't see how that happens. I just don't. And now you've got this nonsense with the Kraken going out and disrespecting players on his sideline. Yeah, that team is a hot mess. I think Jerry Jones knows it. I think their head coach knows it. I think almost everybody on the team knows it. Dallas is circling the drain this season. I think the Seahawks are going to go down there and pull off the win. All right, next up, we have got the Green Bay Packers going to the Denver Broncos. The Packers are favored by 3, and I don't know why. They have a great offense. They're a very good football team. They're undefeated. I just don't think they can go to Denver and beat that defense. Denver isn't winning with offense anymore, but they really don't need to. Their defense is explosive. They're fast. They've got playmakers. They generate turnovers. And they just absolutely dominate teams that are forced to be one-dimensional. And right now, as much as I love Aaron Rodgers, he is not having the kind of season people thought he would. He's not. And now, granted, Green Bay is playing really good football. They really are. I just don't think that they've encountered a defense like Denver yet, and I think they're going to pick up their first loss. Give me Denver in the upset. Okay, next up, we have got Monday Night Football. Indianapolis Colts are traveling to Carolina. Carolina's favored by a touchdown, and I don't see the Colts being able to come away with a win against what I think is a really talented Carolina team. This team has turned a corner, specifically their quarterback. There are a lot of people out there who don't like Cam Newton, and that's fine. Cam Newton is playing really good football right now, and that defense is solid. I think that the Indianapolis Colts are going to get absolutely just open hand slapped in the face. It's good. It's going to be that kind of disrespect. This one could turn into a beatdown. 7 points, and why not make it 17? Go ahead and give me the Carolina Panthers and give me the points. Those are our picks for the week. I'm AJ Bellino, sans Diego Del Barco, who's off doing his best impression of Indiana Jones in Peru someplace. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.